You are welcome to today's video. Now this is chess opening statics. Now the meaning of all openings, all chess openings. Watch out and see. Let's start from here. Now, if you should move like this. Now, according to masters, grandmasters or champion, they don't play their first move like this. You understand? But if you should move like this, that is to say that you are only trying to prepare for the event. You are not attacking. If you should play it like this, then that means you are attacking the game. You want to attack your opponent. That's why you give it double move. But if you give it only single move, that is to say you want to defend. Now, followed by this. If you should play like this, now masters can play like this, but in most cases they don't even play like this. But if you play like this also, that means you are trying to defend your game, to play a defensive game. But if you should play like this, you are trying to attack. You are trying to attack. So now, if you should play the pawn C that is on letter C, if you should play it, maybe give it a single move. Now, in this process, you are trying to defend. You are trying to defend, but and even if you play like this, well, you are trying to defend, and it can also cause some things which can block your knight movement. It can hinder your knight movement and cause little things, problems to your damage your territory. But if you should give it two moves, now that means you are trying to attack your opponent. So now, the pawn here, if you play like this, you are trying to defend your game and trying to set it attack. But if you play like this, that means you are really trying to attack, nothing but to attack your opponent. If you should play the pawn in front of your queen, give it a single move. You are also trying to defend your game. That's why you give it only one move. You are trying to defend your game. But if you should give it two moves, trying to attack. So you are trying to attack the pawn here. If you give it one move, trying to defend, and it can hinder your knight. So you be very careful of some movements. Some movements are not even good at all. But if you move it like this, that means you are trying to attack. You are trying to attack the squares here, the opponent. Now, if you should give it one move, you are trying to defend. But if you should give it two moves, you are trying to attack, and this can cause you some little problems. Now, which you need to be aware of. You don't just push your pawns anyhow. Because if you push your pawns anyhow, remember they are the future. They are the one that will promote and get a queen for you. So if you play like this, you are trying to defend. Maybe protect your knight from bishops or some other things. Then when you play like this, you are trying to attack your opponent with your pawn and with the help of your rook. So that is the meaning of all this movement. Then when you play your knight here, that means you are trying to check the first move of your opponent to test, to know the next move to play. Because when you play your knight here, your opponent might not know the next pawn you want to move and the next game you want to play. So if your opponent plays, then what your opponent plays will now determine what you want to play. For example, when you move your knight here now and your opponent push out this pawn, he's trying to defend. I'm setting an attack on your knight because you want to put your bishop there. So that will now determine on the next move, either you move like this or you move like this. So you understand? So that is the movement. If you should play your knight first, you are trying to know your opponent's first move. So if you play the second knight here also, you are trying to do the same thing. If your opponent plays like this, you can let me attack my opponent by playing this pawn or by playing this pawn. So that is still the same thing. So most times it is white that determines this the game that the opponent using black is going to play. So
You cannot play rook.
you can't play. There are some players here. There are some pieces here you can't play. For example, you cannot play your rook first, bishop first, king first, queen first, and that is all. You can't play your rook, knight, rook, bishop, king, queen. Okay, you can't play your rook, bishop, king, and queen, but you can play your knight and pawn first. Yeah, you can play that first. So when you want to attack, when you want to play with grandmaster or champion, make sure that you set an attacking game first. Because when you should set, you play at the center. Because when you should set a defensive game, or do your openings, let your openings be at the center. Because when you set a defensive game, at times they might attack you. But when you place your opening from the center, especially the pawn in the front of your king and the one in front of your queen, now you can play that and attack your opponent. But if you place anyhow like this and you are playing with champions, you might be defeated. So make a good openings, and thank God that you know the meaning of all these openings. So like and subscribe for more content. Bye for now.